Hey everyone, John Michael here on H2OMG, the podcast from Fort Worth Water Department, all about water, and today we have an episode all about YardSmart, our annual gardening seminar. So we're here with, let's just go around and say, like we always do, who's all here. Michelle, you want to start?
Sure. I'm Michelle Birmingham, a conservation specialist with Fort Worth.
Hilda Zuniga, communication specialist.
Becky Begley, water conservation specialist.
Okay, so for any listeners who have never heard of YardSmart, could you just describe what YardSmart is and what they can expect?
Sure. So YardSmart is our annual half-day gardening seminar event. It's free. And we usually hold one in the spring and the fall. And it usually runs, from about 8:30 to 1 o'clock was the normal. We'd have different speakers on different subjects relating to gardening. And it was free. And that's really about it. And the reason behind it, we've been doing this well over 10 years. And the reason for this was that we know that a lot of water use that occurs during the summer is because of irrigation. And it's often because people do not have the correct plants in their yard and or don't really understand how they should be irrigating. And so we want to provide that information for you in the hopes that it would lower your water use due to irrigation and watering your plants.
Yeah. So you're going to hear a lot of us plugging native plants and all the speakers plugging native plants because they save so much water by being adapted to this environment. And we did a whole episode all about native plants that Michelle and Hilda were part of sometime last year. So you can find that. What is going to be different about this YardSmart coming up on September 12th than other YardSmarts?
It's going to be online. So, COVID has us all re-strategizing and rethinking everything. And so this one is going to be online. We're going to have it through our Facebook Live. And our Spanish Facebook and our English are going to be linked up. And so we're going to kind of split it up in the sense that the first 2 hours will be English. And then the last 2 hours will be Spanish. There'll be shorter lectures with a little bit of Q&A afterwards. You could type in the comments during our live broadcast, and we'll be doing it from the Botanic Gardens. Nobody needs to show up at the Botanic Gardens, but we're using it for their space. And then also we're going to be shooting some of the footage in their backyard vegetable garden because 2 of our topics are on vegetable gardening. So that'll be really neat. So this is going to be very different for us. The first time we're trying this. Cross our fingers, no technical glitches. Everybody be patient with us. But I think it'll be interesting. We have good speakers lined up, topics. I think the fact that we're going to do some in the actual gardens will be really neat as well.
Yeah.
So,
but just so everybody knows, if there are any glitches, it'll be my fault. So no pressure.
We didn't want to say that.
Well, we were all thinking it. So like Michelle said, we're going to be broadcasting to you live from the Fort Worth Botanic Gardens Theater. But like she also said, don't come because we won't let you in.
It is a great opportunity, though, for people that have never been to YardSmart because they have babysitter needs or whatever it is. And then if you're afraid of just going out, this is a great opportunity to still learn about how you can conserve water while gardening, irrigating, and all that. So it is a great opportunity. And if you, for whatever reason, don't have time to do it live, it's going to be recorded and you can come back and take a look at it.
Be home, comfy, in your PJs, coffee in hand. Maybe it's dinner, and you got a few hours. Sit down, watch it at your leisure. I think it'll be a good thing. So especially if couldn't make it out you normal Saturday mornings, So
like Hilda said, if you can't see it live, it'll be on Fort Worth Water's Facebook and Fort Worth Agua's Facebook. And we'll also put it on our YouTube channel. If you just search for Fort Worth Water on YouTube, you'll be able to find us there. and we'll have all the footage. I think I wanted to ask about the schedule. Who are the speakers that we have lined up, and what topics are they going to be talking about?
All right. So for our English portion, which again is from 9 to 11, our first speaker is Daniel Cunningham. And if you've been attending any of our water saving seminars that are basically facilitated by us, but been put on through Water University, Texas AgriLife. So he's with them. Does their horticulture, or that's somewhere around horticultural title, knows everything about plants. Do not be worried. Daniel's very impressive. Actually, all of our speakers are impressive. We always have a good lineup.
Yeah.
So he'll be doing the first one, which is pots and small spots, container gardening from 9 to 9:40. So you're in an apartment, or maybe you just want to experiment with pots on the patio. And how is it different? Can you grow, vegetable gardening right now is really huge.
Yeah.
I got in on it too, because we're all at home and just kind of trying to find things to do. Or home more often, at least. He'll help you figure it out. So that's the first.
Really excited about that one, because I started doing the same thing around about March or April, and just to give me something to do. And so now I've got more basil than I can ever use in my life. So I'm excited to hear about that one. Yeah. Oh yeah, we already did that.
So that'll be the first one. The second one will be fall landscaping. So, and that'll be by Steve Cheney, a home horticultural agent, also he's through the county extension office. And that'll be good because, believe it or not, fall is around the corner. There is an insight, right, to this heat. It's hard to believe a little bit. But, and so there are certain things that you should be doing to your garden in the fall. Certain plants actually do better being planted in the garden. It's a great time to do a lot of yard prep, so that when it's winter and you don't want to be out in your garden, period, and then it's ready to go the following spring. And then we'll have vegetable gardening. So that's from 9:40 to 10:20. And then we'll have vegetable gardening from 10:20 to 11 o'clock. And that'll be by Dottie Woodson. And we'll be out in the backyard gardening. So once again, we know that a lot of people, like I said, myself included, started the vegetable garden game. And so she's just going to give some general information and also some things that are specific to the fall that you can plant and preparing your bed for the spring.
Yeah. So. And hopefully if everything goes like we plan, we'll be broadcasting that live from the Fort Worth Botanic Gardens vegetable garden, which is a really cool place. Me and Michelle went out there to scope everything out. I'd been inside the buildings at the Botanic Gardens for all the YardSmarts that I've been to, but I've never really been in the gardens, so that was really cool. So if you haven't been to the Botanic Gardens, you should check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and then so after Dottie's vegetable garden segment ends, we're gonna kick the Spanish YardSmart off with the Spanish vegetable garden. Is that right?
But the Spanish will start at 11, and again, they'll be linked up together, the Spanish and English Facebook Lives. And that will also be vegetable gardening, and it'll be in Spanish. And that will be given by Laura Miller, a county extension agent through the county. And so again, that'll be good. Hot topic this time around. And then from 11:40 to 12:20 will be pollinators. Laura Velos, she's a natural scientist. She's here with the it's failing me. She's with the city. She's with
the Nature Center.
Nature Center. Why can't I remember that? She's with the Nature Center. So she's great. She's going to be talking about the importance of pollinators and importance of bringing that to your yard. And then from 12:20 to 1, it'll be basically fall gardening as well. So just kind of general landscaping. And that'll be Claudia Montoya, and she's with Site One Landscape Supply. So all of those will be in Spanish. So if you're bilingual, hang on for the whole show. If you're not, English is from 9 to 11 and Spanish is from 11 to 1. And like I said, each of the presentations is 30 minutes long. We're trying to make this format work for viewing things live. And then the last 10 minutes, they will be taking questions. So, as you're watching, a question comes up, throw it up in the comments. And again, we're kind of new at this, so we'll see. Hopefully we can find a good balance, but we'll try to answer them in real time.
Yeah, one of us will be monitoring the questions. It'll probably be me. One of the most popular parts of our Yard Smarts in the past have been the panel Q&As at the end. And so people will still get to do that. This time you'll still be able to ask questions live. So be sure to type those in while watching Facebook Live, and we'll ask the presenters. Do we want to talk about what we have planned for YardSmart of the future, YardSmart 2021?
Yes. Becky, you're up.
All right. Yeah, we're really excited. In spring 2021, February 13th, to be exact, that Saturday, YardSmart is going to become a full-day conference with multiple tracks, multiple options each hour during the day. It'll start with a keynote speaker, and then you'll be able to break out. There'll still be the traditional lectures like we've always had, but then we'll have some smaller group classes, some hands-on classes, a full Spanish track. We're renting out the entire Botanic Garden. We'll have all of our classrooms there. We're also going to have lunch and learns that are going to give you an opportunity during your lunch. It's going to be an extended lunch hour, a little bit more like an hour and 20 minutes, where you'll be able to take a class and then eat your lunch. And all of those classes will be offered twice during lunch. So not even lunch is wasted. We're squeezing every minute that we can out of our 9 to 4. And the topic of the YardSmart in the spring is kind of going to tie together the idea of the value of water as a sustainable part of our lives. And our keynote speaker will start out talking about that. And then the sessions will all link back to water, protecting water quality in your garden, conserving water in your garden, and using your garden to try to control the movement of water as a flood control. So it's kind of like this, it's kind of a themed kind of thing for, although we'll still have, the importance of dirt and fertilizer and lawn care through the seasons and, all the traditional items, all of them will have that little twist to them to think about using water in the way that you use it, water in your plants to help protect our water supply. So we're pretty excited about that. We're hoping that by February we'll be able to be live and everybody will be able to come to the Botanic Garden and enjoy the day with us.
Yeah, back live and in person. And I'm really looking forward to hearing about the importance of dirt at that one. So I'm going to mark that on my
You know what? I had a professor at TCU, Dr. Suttery, and he always said, dirt is something that is under your nails. Soil. Talking about soil.
Oh, so, we just got roasted.
Good one.
That's stuck with me for like 20 years.
Yes, I'm an event organizer, not a gardener. So to me, it's dirt.
Oh, I understand. Yeah. I use dirt too, but every time I say dirt,
that is funny though.
His lecture, like, you know how that happens? Yes. Like your parents say something and you're like, you do the opposite thing, but it goes through your head. Every time I hear dirt, first
I will remember that.
Michelle just took both of us to school, so thank you.
He sure did.
Thank you for that, Michelle.
Teaching you no less. We were getting a good education now.
Do you guys have a favorite thing that you plant in your gardens in the fall? Because a lot of people don't really think about planting in the fall, but there's a whole, different genre of plant, right, that you can do in the fall.
And, I like to do vegetables. And really, they are really, really easy to plant and to take care of. Basically, they take care of themselves. And it's the list of them, it's almost the same. I'm not going to say it's the same, but it's almost the same as the ones at least for the herbs. As the ones during the summer. I used some of the ones that the Texas AgriLife Extension Service is now heavily promoting, and during the summer, and they are doing so great. I have a lot of basil too.
That was through the You Plant It?
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was checking out the list for the herbs as well for the fall, and it's almost similar. So, if you really like basil.
That's really easy to grow. That's why I have 10 tons of it.
Keep it up. It really does good. But yeah, herbs and my lantana, I love my lantana also. And that one is great during the summer and, of course, during the fall, most of the fall.
Yeah. Anybody else have any favorite fall plants to grow in your garden?
I just recently pulled everything out of my veggie garden, like all of the summer stuff. Most of them had stopped producing. And quite honest, I kind of got tired of going out there in the heat, watering them in the morning. But now the mornings are actually starting to cool off again, which is really exciting because it's like, oh, fall is on its way.
Yeah.
I planted some late pumpkins, some pumpkin seeds from seeds, so I can get little mini pumpkins. I'm hoping they'll be ready. I put it a little bit late, so they might not be quite ready for Halloween, but they'll be ready for Thanksgiving. And they're like the little ornamentals, and they have the best name. They're called Jack Be Little. My son's name is Jack. So I just think it's the best thing ever. By the way,
Is he excited?
He's very excited. This is my third attempt to do pumpkins, and I have not been successful. So I'm hoping third time. They always get taken out by that squash borer.
I hear you talk about planting pumpkins every year, and I've never seen a pumpkin produced.
They never happen.
Well, good luck this year.
This year's the time. Daniel, one of our speakers, I was a facilitator for the vegetable garden one that we had like about a month ago. And he was saying that if you planted pumpkin from seed, now might be a little bit late, but he was saying that the squash borer shouldn't be an issue anymore. Like there's kind of a period of time when they're at their peak, and you got to do it early or late. Yeah. And and late we can only get the tiny pumpkins, but I'm okay with that. So I'm hoping to have like I could do all these decorative things with all my mini pumpkins I'm going to have this fall. I'm going to be so sad, by the way, guys, if this does not happen. You guys have no idea.
You're going to be in the same
emotionally invested in these pumpkins.
You're going to be in the same situation as John Michael with the basil.
Yeah.
Well, these aren't edible. They're ornamental. So I'm going to be hopefully begging people to take them. I'm actually hoping to put a little sign in my yard and be like, pick your own pumpkin.
That would be nice.
How many did you plant?
So I only planted, I planted 12 seeds. So we'll see who actually,
if they all grew, and they multiply.
Yeah. So apparently it's prolific. Like I was reading online, you can get a lot. So, I talk to them in the morning. I'm watering them. I'm encouraging them. I'm like, come on. I just want a pumpkin patch so bad.
It's going to be like gremlins. You're going to have so many, they're going to overrun the house.
That would be amazing. So, so that's what I'm attempting this fall. Otherwise, everything's kind of quiet. So
I've just got my basil still going strong.
Yeah.
So
I just got my front yard, so I don't have anything planted right now. But we are allowed to plant outside. I just bought a townhome, and we are allowed to plant outside our own space as long as we take care of it ourselves.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
I don't know what I'll plant, but
you're about to learn so many things.
I'm gonna have to learn. Yeah. I know that pansies are always good in the winter.
Yeah.
Because they handle the cold weather. Because I know that my daughter plants pansies, and they always do well in the winter. And I was at it was at the Landscaping 101 thing that Water University taught a couple of months ago. I was facilitating that one, and it's really cool that when you think about, because you talked about planting like layers, so you have height in your landscape, but also planting so that you have color year round in your landscape. Don't plant everything. Keep some things in there that are evergreen and some things that are deciduous, some things that grow in the winter and summer and grow year round.
Well,
you know what? We should plug the You Plant It.
We should.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Hilda was saying you had good success with the herbs. I was looking, they have their sale going on. This is through Texas AgriLife Water University, who we use for a lot of our speaking engagements. And they have their pollinator box going right now. And I actually got their pollinator box the first time they sold it.
Yes.
And it is doing excellent. I get compliments all the time. Like now that I hang out in my yard in the morning, and everybody's, because nobody can go anywhere, like walking in the neighborhood, I always get all these comments, and I almost feel guilty because they're all like, oh, wow, these plants are so amazing. And I'm like, I literally bought a kit and put it in the ground. Like I didn't really...
But
gave me way too much credit.
Yeah, but tell people what it is if they don't know.
So it's done great.
Yeah, it's 32. I just went on the website real quick. You get 32 starter plants that are in 3-inch pots, and they pack them all up in a box that's 2 foot by 1 foot. And it's just a drive through. Oh, and it's plant by number too. So you know where to plant them. I mean, that's maybe what I need to get.
That's cool.
Yes.
Covers up to 125 square feet, full sun to part shade. And it'll bloom from spring to fall every year. You can order them through the 20th. If you just type plant it came right up. Order through the 20th of September, and the pickup date is scheduled for September 26th. From 8 to noon, and the pickup location in DFW is at the Tarrant Regional Water District. So it's real easy. You just drive through, they pop it in your trunk, and off you go.
Yeah. So you can still order through September 20th. Is that right?
Through September 20th,
Okay.
Yep.
And like you were saying, it really helps that all the plants are numbered. So you know exactly that based on the height, which one goes on the very back or which one goes in the very front, so that you won't have, a weird design. But they give you 2 different designs, whether you want.
This one has 3 layouts. Yeah.
3.
Yep,
I got the ones that whether you wanted to put it on a corner or just make it along your fence or whatever. So it made it really, really easy for me as well. And I got the same one, the pollinators, and they're doing great. 1 year after or so, they're doing awesome.
Yeah, this is cool. You can plant it as a rectangle, a triangle, or a circle.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't even water mine.
Mature height.
Yeah, me neither. It's
after
really
establishing. Yeah.
And that's why.
I have not watered, and it's phenomenal.
And they're all the plants are locally grown and native and adapted to this area, which is why you don't have to water them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have brought so many birds and bees. Oh my God, it's so amazing just to sit back and the birds, so many different birds. It's just surprising that it really does work.
It really does.
Yeah.
I saw my first hummingbird, like one of the big, like a big old one, and I was ecstatic. I was like looking through my kitchen, like I can kind of see my garden.
Taking photos everywhere.
I wanted to run up there. I was like, I got a hummingbird. So exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we probably ought to plug our last 3 water saving seminars too, which are now online. September, October, and November are still to be had online. If you go to our website and go to savefortworthwater.org, click on events and classes and water saving seminars, and those will pop up for you. And you do need to register for those.
And those are free.
They are free. Yep. And the classes are all taught by our friends at Water University, Texas A&M AgriLife. And our topics left are, September 10th is Made for the Shade, just shade gardening.
My birthday.
And then, happy birthday in advance. October 22nd is family-friendly gardening. That'll be fun. And then November 12th is fruit berries and urban orchard. So we have 3 really interesting topics left for this year, because this time of year is a really good time to plant trees in the fall.
During the fall.
I learned that when I moved here from Ohio. In Ohio, we planted trees in the spring. Down here, we plant them in the fall. Arbor Day is even a different date in Texas than it is in the north.
I didn't know that.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
And even if you want to move a plant from one place to another, this is the time. And I'm sure if you all send that question over to the experts, they'll be happy to answer and give you more instructions and guidance as to how to do that. But yeah, the fall is the best time of the year to transplant and move and new trees and all that. So
cool.
Yes, I know more than I thought, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
You do.
Shocking.
Well, we're all going to know more after YardSmart virtual on September 12th, 2020. So tune in on Fort Worth Water's Facebook page and Fort Worth Agua. It'll be live on both of those. And like we said, we'll have it on our YouTube afterwards for anyone who misses it. It'll also be on our Facebooks for anyone who misses it. And our YouTube is Fort Worth Water. If you just search for that, we should pop up. And if you don't follow us on social media, go ahead and do that so you can find out about things like our water saving seminars and YardSmart and all the cool stuff that we do. So we're on Facebook, like I mentioned, at Fort Worth Water in English and Fort Worth Agua in Spanish. We're on Twitter at FW Water in English and at FW Agua in Spanish. And then we have an Instagram, which is Save FW Water. And I think that covers everything. Yeah. Thanks for doing this.
Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends.
Yes, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your neighbors. And it's the nice thing about being virtual is everyone can come.
Yep.
Yep. And so we'll see you there. But not really.
All right.
But
They'll
You
see
will
it.
be
Well,
there.
yeah, that's right.
hey everyone, thanks for listening. Be sure to tune in to Virtual YardSmart at 9 a.m. Central on September 12th, 2020 on Fort Worth Water's Facebook. You can find links to all our social media in the show notes. You know, YardSmart being a virtual conference this year kind of reminds me of a time way back in 1994 when the Sci-Fi Channel had a virtual conference. You made a little avatar and walked around in different rooms where people were talking about different sci-fi things. YardSmart is going to be much better than that, though, because you don't have to make an avatar dressed up like Xena the Warrior Princess, and we don't have dial-up internet anymore. You can find out more about YardSmart at savefortworthwater.org. If you live in Fort Worth, you should also be getting a reminder inserted into your water bill, so keep an eye out for that. If you have any questions about YardSmart or anything else water conservation related, you can always email waterconservation@fortworthtexas.gov. Thanks again for listening, and see you virtually on September 12th.